Hey guys, Sableye here, and welcome back to another episode of Crazy Climbing. Today we're going to try and take on the ladder with this Calrex Ghost team, or Calrex-shadow rider. I don't even know what the official name of it technically is, but you guys can see it on the layout there, and you saw it on the screen a few seconds ago. But first things first, the fact that these legendaries don't have TCG art yet is really messing up my layout. So if anybody who's involved in making these cards ends up watching these videos, please just make them some cards. Please. I just want my layouts to look better. But anyways, we're going to get Tom here, guys. And honestly, this team was kind of inspired by wanting to use Calrex on a non-hyper offensive team. And you know what? For the most part, it works. This is the one time and the one matchup that I dislike. And it's not that it's an auto loss. It's just that it's tougher than it really kind of needs to be. Because you can't, there's no safe play. Like, this is the safest play, and we're gonna go through it as the game goes on here, but the question is, do I want to bring the Cali late game, or do I want to bring the Glacier end game? Because I don't think I ever get Trick Room up to game 1. So I think because of that, I'm gonna go Cali end game and see if that works. Like, I don't think I ever get room up. But basically, guys, what I was trying to say here, this is a non-hyper offense Calrex team, kind of modeled a little bit off of the, the dual horse teams back from Series 7. Honestly, the team is really solid. I mean, okay, it's solid until you're playing Desafio Latam, which was an online tournament this past weekend, and you pull triple dark and get knocked out. But hey, it's solid until you pull triple dark, okay? But they're actually going to not go with the lead that I, kind of expected from them here. So I'm a little shocked by this, I'm not going to lie, and it might give me an advantage here. Although it sucks now because I probably, with this lead, I could have got Trick Room up. So, although that's special attack, so that's something. Okay. I still think I get rid of Kartana. Like, that's, to me, I'm getting rid of Kartana here is the better play. And I think you want to fake out Porygon so I don't get Trick Room up. So I should be able to get a Volt Switch and an Ice Beam into that Kartana slot and get instant onto the field pretty safely. They're going to max, should be the Kartana, which should normally be AV on these archetypes there. But, yeah, basically, another thought process I had with this team was you could run Spectrier and Calrex Ice. Very similar concept, but then you lose a lot of the fast pressure, and it becomes a little bit more reliant on getting room up, which is not as easy to do in this format. So we are going to see the fake out, and they do indeed fake out the Porygon 2, which is as predicted. Volt Switch goes off, does connect into Katagami. Love that name for it, by the way. Love that name for it. And we go hard into instant to keep the Intimidate, and one day I'm actually going to remember to mute my phone. But today is not that day. So we got the purple lights in the background for the Calrex and the Tapu Fini. But either way, what do we got here? What's this Kartana going for? Knuckle. Okay, so it's back to neutral. Does this Knuckle go into the instant? Okay, it goes into the P2. Seeing that go into the P2 is amazing, but it's still a matter of I gotta call this turn correctly. Okay, so what does he do? He wants to Parting Shot with his... Does he Airstream and Parting Shot? Get Ogre in so Kartana lives his Flare Blitz? I don't see a reason to not just launch a Flare Blitz into this Kartana. I really do not see a reason to not do that. And I'm tempted to Thunderbolt the instant slot, because if I catch the Ogre, I could also just try and recover. In which case, that's what I'm going to do too. That's a little bit more sane, I think. There's another Max Knuckle coming out. I'm going to lose P2, I think. P2's actually alive, but it should be a double up into myself, I would assume. I'd imagine you double up into P2. At least that way you're getting a Mon off the field before I take a Mon off the field. Like, we trade Mon for Mon here. Yeah. That's honestly respectable, but I take a Max Mon for a P2, and I think I really like that trade-off. So we're going to stick with this right now, and we're going to get a nice little Flare Blitz into this Kartana. It's dead. Beautiful. You love to see it. Poor Kartana. Like, Kartana is one of those Pokemon that I really want to say is, as good as Kartana is, I really think it's a healthy mod. Like it is 100% a healthy Pokemon. Like it's got that big weakness, you know. Obviously, it's not very frail defensively, right? You kind of have to hit it specially, but it has that big fire weakness, you know. And you can exploit that, making it not that broken at all. But at the same time, it's still broken if you can play it right. So I think I go straight Cali. Actually, you know what? I go Alecki. Because Alecki puts more pressure on it, and then I can save my Cali late game. And here comes the Kyogre. Beautiful. Seeing the Kyogre switch on the field immediately, I'm going to max this Alecki. I wanted to potentially max Calrex late game, but I want to max Alecki here, which is actually a more common max on this team than you'd think. Like, we really have 3 maxers, and it's the Calrex, which honestly isn't that often. Then it's basically the Alecki and the Glacier. That's basically all you're maxing. There's a few scenarios you max the P2 in, but outside of that, I mean, you don't really max much else. Okay, this goes here, and this should just do this. Okay, he's probably going to protect Kyogre, but if he protects Kyogre, it doesn't help him. So he's leaving it on the field, so he doesn't have a switch in. Did he not bring Torn? Like, the problem normally against Tornogre with this type of team is the fact that they just lead Tornogre, and they probably just taunt and protect, and then the following turn they Tailwind and just spout, right? So it's a matter of breaking through that immediately, but given the fact that they didn't go for that, okay, there's the protect there, which is the correct protect. But given the fact that they didn't set that up immediately, I can actually take advantage of that now, getting a nice little max lightning out into this Ogre. Even through protect, 50% is absolutely ridiculous. Are we going to see Parting Shot? Or are we just going to see him attempt to Flare Blitz me, which would kind of be dumb? It's got to be a Parting Shot. Darkest Lariat. So it actually has a Dark move, which is actually very good to know, as we do Parting Shot off, because, you know, before this, I was thinking to myself, you know, I could probably get away leaving Cali on the field, but I don't think I can anymore. I guess I could Astral Barrage for the Ogre. I don't know if it picks up the Ogre, though, and double the Instant, but that's, I don't know, to me, that's risky, right? Yeah, I don't know if that's ever picking up Ogre. So, like, I'd rather, is it not, I think it's just safer to do it the other way, and that's what we're going to do. So, we're going to go back into Instant here. And just drop a Max Lightning. This, actually no, this doesn't welcome anything. He'd have to get a double protect and then Parting Shot out into a Torn, then get a Tailwind up. It's a long shot still for him to pull this one out, I think. I don't know why, like I said, I don't know why you don't lead Torn Ogre against me here. Like, and I theoried this matchup with a few different people, and everybody's like, there's no reason for me not to lead Torn Ogre. But either way, I mean, I'm not going to complain about it. He didn't lead Torn Ogre. We're going to take this W and move on. But Calrex going to pivot on out. Instant coming in. Intimidate. And Kyogre should drop even if it gets a double protect. We're in electric terrain now, so it might as well be dead. In fact, if it goes for the double protect, that might be better. He doesn't go for it. Okay, that's fine. Not that it realistically mattered. But Kyogre's going to drop. What does Instant do? We have one more turn of max, so we should be perfectly fine. Darkest Lariat. Nice. Okay. So that was fairly straightforward there. Gets launched off into my Instant. Instant's going to be able to take. I actually did a little bit more than... Okay, great. I was going to say it's more than I expected there, but crit, 100% respectable. And honestly, Instant having a Pasho Berry is mainly for this matchup here. Obviously, you can take a lot more, but like other water types and everything in general, like Lapras and stuff. But for this team, Pasho Berry I think was needed because you have to bring Instant against these Kartanas. And they bring in their Alecki. I think my best play, as dumb as this is going to... Actually, no, I just fake out Alecki. What am I saying? What am I saying? I just do this. I was going to say my best play, as you guys get to see my mess of a head, is to just Max Lightning the Alecki. But I fake out the Alecki here. I guess I could have faked out Instant. But I mean, I'm pretty sure their Incineroar dies to Magnet Alecki. Like, there's no way. There's no way. Unless it's AV. Nah, it's not living. Okay. Instant's gone, and now we're at a spot where I Parting Shot with my Instant and go for a Thunderbolt. If they're the faster Alecki, they probably kill my Alecki if they choose to take it. But I'm okay with that. Because if they kill my Alecki, I get Fake Out, and then Cali wins the game. So, and honestly, this is why I like kind of a more defensive Calrex. quote-unquote defensive. Guys, don't get me wrong. I have mad special attack investment and a lot of speed. I don't have that much bulk, but I do have bulk on it. But I think this game's just over, right? They're gonna Thunder. Who's this hitting? They're hitting the Instant. I think the threat there was my Cali. Sorry, not my Cali. It was my Regieleki. Because this thing's just dead. Electric Terrain boosted Thunderbolt? There's no way Regieleki... Yeah, didn't think so. The threat to him was my... I guess he lost anyway. Like, the thing is, the game was over. Basically, he kills my Aleki. I parting shot out. I then come into Calrex and Incineroar. I click Fake Out, and I have Substitute on this Calrex, actually, which I don't think you guys ever got a chance to see there. I don't think the moves are ever on the screen. But basically, we're going to check, or we're not going to check the team, guys. If this was a stream, I'd check and chill, but on YouTube, there's no point. Is my mic picking up? Okay, good. For some reason, I thought for a second, you know, halfway through the video, I decided to check, hey, is my mic on? But my mic is on. We're actually 591, which, for the lack of games we've played, that's not bad. We're going to play Sword at 160. But I do have sub on this Calrex, is what I'm trying to say. Is that a Morpeko? And I... What? And it's another one of those crazy climbing episodes, guys, where my opponent's team is just more crazy than mine. You know, and I thought I was being cool, you know, with, like, the dual horses and stuff like that. But I guess not. I guess I am not the cool one here. So, I really like the Glacier mode. Like, to me, the Glacier mode just seems amazing. Like, I'm looking at this and I don't see a reason not to bring it. So I'm going to go for it. And it's just a matter of what do I want to patch it with. Like, Aleki P2 Glacier seems really, really solid. It's just, do I want to commit fully to the slow mode and go with like an Instant or a Finny? Or do I want to have that, maybe that Calrex in case I decide, hey, I don't need Trick Room here. Or I can reverse the Trick Room late game and then pressure with Aleki Calrex. Like, that's what I like about this team, is I have those two game modes, you know? If they want to go Trick Room, okay, I'll play right in it. Right? Because how do you shut down Calrex, really, outside of if you don't have a Dark move, you know? If I can shut down the Dark move user, your best bet to Cali is to Trick Room, right? I think I am going to go Cali here. Instant and Finny to me don't really... I'm going to go Cali. I'm going to regret it. It should be Finny. I'm 99% sure this should be Finny just as a way to take a Kyurem attack. Just as a way to take an attack from this Kyurem, I think Finny's the play. But I panicked with 5 seconds left, and this is what we're locking with, guys. So we're going with it. We're going to roll with it. But nice Reggie Drago hoodie there, and we're going to see the Morpeko Kyurem. So, oh, the shiny mouse. Okay, Regieleki P2. This isn't terrible. Morpeko gets Fake Out? Question mark? I think? Does it? This is a physical attack. Yep. It has to get Fake Out, right? Right? I don't want to Volt Switch because I have no... I guess you Max Quake. Do you Quake? I think you do. So I'm going to Volt Switch off Kyurem just for the chip damage. Actually, you know what? I should probably break a Sash on Morpeko. Just in case. And I attempt the Trick Room. I don't think I ever get the Trick Room up. Could have Taunt as well. I try for it, but there's the max. It's going to be Kyurem. No doubt in my mind. You don't max Morpeko. If they're maxing Morpeko, hey. Cool team. But they're going to max the Kyurem. Not surprising to me at all. Does this thing like get like Mach Punch or something to proc this thing's policy? Like, is there something I'm missing here? Kyurem White, guys, by the way, is definitely a mon I want to try. I'm thinking, I want to say next time, Morpeko does get Fake Out, so not surprised by the Fake Out there. And we're going to get a nice little Volt Switch off the with the Aleki. That did so much damage. Yo, Morpeko sucked. I can't tell if Morpeko sucks, or if Aleki is just that good. But anyways, we're going to get the Glacier on the field. Of course, we're not going to get the room up, but it should be a Quake. Glacier is obviously the mon I want to take. Actually, it's a Wormwood. So they're scared of P2. They are really, really terrified of P2. But this is another reason you bring you bring the Glacier mode. Because as you see here, I had no way to get I mean, I guess I could have tried for Trick Room. Like, I guess I could have pivoted. Now having Finny in the back here would actually give me a switch in, which is why I think Finny might be a little better in this matchup. But I think we're going to try and make our way through this, alright? What do they do? I think I have to max just so I don't lose too much momentum. So I'm going to Knuckle, see if I can get a Sword Dance up here. But, and once again, I'm going to try for it. If they give it to me, fantastic. But I can't see it happening. They are going to stay on the field with both. Okay. Now, if this goes into Morpeko, and I can pick up a knockout, it's basically like a Swords Dance because it's a +2, which is kind of what I was referring to there. So, but seriously, those TCG cards not being in existence really bothers me because I'm looking at my layout, and it just looks so uneven and unprofessional to me. I don't know, it's bothering me. But Order Wheel from the Morpeko. Morpeko, Tomato, I don't know. But anyways, Morpeko's speed's going to go up as well. It's going to be the Hailstorm, so that is going to drop my P2. There's no doubt in my mind that P2 dies to this. No doubt in my mind. I'm surprised they didn't just Quake. You know? I'm really surprised they didn't Quake my Lucky, but I guess they were right in the Trick Room being the threat, which is fair. And we're going to max Knuckle up, and Morpeko is indeed gone. Is Morpeko a Dark type? I don't know. I know it's 100% Electric. I know the Aura Wheel switches between Dark and Electric based on which form it's in. But I don't actually know if it's ever a Dark type. I don't know. I want to say yes, but I bring in a Lucky now because I never got Trick Room up. And once again, Cali's better for the late game sweep rather than mid game sweep, so they're going to send in Regieleki, so I'm going to Quake that slot. 100, maybe not. I might just Hailstorm it. I'll see what they have. They have Lando in the back, right? This could be a massive bait. I am going to Hailstorm it. Because if I Quake, I lose too much. If I Quake and they switch into Lando, I lose way too much. If I Hailstorm and, okay, a -1 Hailstorm goes into the Eleki, there's no problem there. Electro Ball. Glacier should take. I should take this Wormwind here. I really should. Yeah, okay. AV Glacier is an absolute beast. Okay. Glacier's attack is going to go down. That's fine. As long as this Hailstorm picks off a Lucky, or puts a Lucky in a spot where at least my Lucky can get an attack off next turn, I think I'm alright. Hailstorm, Aleki just dropped. Okay. Okay, what is their back mod? That brings us back to neutral. That brings us back to neutral. The question is what... Okay, it's Finny. They brought the Finny, so I think I've won this game. Because I have Callie in the back. And if you're my opponent, you want to kill Aleki and protect the Finny, I think. So I just knuckle this Kyurem if I get the chance to. And I just attempt to drop a Thunderbolt. There's no reason for me to Volt Switch, potentially not kill the Finny and let Calrex take big damage. No reason for that. Finny should be... No Protect? I have so many questions. But either way, Finny's going to drop, which we love to see, guys. But honestly, I'm happy I kind of got to feature... I didn't actually get to feature Callie. Glacier is an absolute beast, by the way. Glacier is an absolute beast. But unfortunately, didn't get to feature Callie too much in today's episode. It was kind of just... What was the first game? I don't even know what happened in the first game. How did I win that? Was Lecky? Yeah, it was a Lecky, right? Yeah, Max Lecky just kind of ran it right. That's how I won the first game. So... But the two Maxers on this team, one in the first game, this one, Glacier in the second one, they just kind of went off. And I don't know, this team has that backbone that allows you to do that, you know? You can change your game plan, right? Like my initial game plan in that game 1 was not maxing a Lecky. My initial game plan that game 1, normally against Tornogre, is I max P2 in a best of 1. Because in the best of 1, they go for the taunt, you max P2 and you Hailstorm, you potentially drop the Torn before they get before they can get a Tailwind up the following turn. And if you get that roll, I know it's a roll and it's not very in our favor, but the moment I get that roll, it's basically over. And I could technically make a case for a more offensive P2 for that. So if you are thinking about trying this team. I'm probably not going to drop EV spreads or anything, but the backbone of the team should be in a poker paste down there in the description. But maybe switch to a more offensive P2. Obviously, make sure you live like spouts and stuff, but you might want a little bit less actual defense and something into attack to make sure you get those torns. But regardless of that, guys, we're going to go 2-0. So we went 4-0 with Xerneas, and now we're going 2-0 to start off with Calrex-shadow. Yo, confused my horses for a second there, guys. Excuse me. But, guys, thank you guys so much for checking out this episode. And I will be back. I think I'm going to try and start going daily, guys. But I will be back at some point with the next episode of Crazy Climbing, guys. So thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys then.